Okay, welcome back. It is Mark, the Notary Ninja, Noble Notary Signing Service, and today I'm going to talk about how a notary made $400 with a single blog post. Well, this is probably one of the first times you're hearing about this, I hope. Um, and there's probably not a lot of people talking about this, so I'm going to, of course, bring it to you fresh. So watch through the end. I have some gold nuggets in here. I'm going to really teach you something. Um, and the concept I'm going to show you is what's called parasite SEO. It's one of the versions of parasite SEO. There's a couple ways to do parasite SEO, but I'm going to show you one of them. So the notary that we're talking about is none other than Miss Grace, and she, as you can see, has a profile on Noble Legal Pros here, which is our directory. And in this directory profile, which of course showcases her different services that she offers. And those, of course, get indexed and shown locally, which is one of the purposes of a directory. But this specific directory also allows you to write blogs, which is very important. This isn't something that Notary Cafe or Notary Rotary let you do. So, other than your profile being the profile on the directory, you don't have any other control over it or ability to use it otherwise. So, but with this directory, our directory, Noble Legal Pros, you can do exactly that, which means that you can use the site's domain authority or the site's power, or the strength in numbers, as we call it, to rank content. And that content will bring you business. Okay. And so that is exactly what she's done. Now, she's got over 27 blogs, I think, on here. You don't have to write 27 blogs. A lot of them are broad general content, but she does write things that, and you should write things that are very narrow and very specific to a very specific service that you can offer in a probably a very specific location or series of locations. Now, with this site, there's no limit on the number of blogs you can make. And ultimately, you're going to get out of this what you put into this. So let me just do a little house cleaning first, real quick. This is a directory listing. This is not our signing service. You don't join our signing service by being on the directory. You don't have to be on the directory. Directory is something we created for value added for notaries. We want you to get your own leads as well. Obviously, we will give signings out, but we would like you to be able to have a resource that can get you your own. And of course, that's what she has gone and done with this. And I'm going to show you what she did and how it worked, give you the story behind that. But this is a tool that you can use, and this is very affordable. We definitely think you should take advantage of it. And just to make it even more accessible, I think we're going to change our prices. So even existing members will see a reduction in their monthly. So the gold will change that to $9.95 and the silver will change that to $5.95. You really can't beat that, right? I mean, you can't get web hosting anywhere that does that. And web hosting isn't going to give you domain authority, meaning you're not going to be able to borrow from the site's existing credibility. And again, as we've discussed, most other, we'll say, notary space directories they don't really offer this option on there, but you have the ability to put a blog up that can attract you ideal customers. So, and that's exactly what Grace did. She has a blog here, which we're going to go into. We're going to deconstruct that in a minute. But I just want to preface that there is this notion in the notary space that you shouldn't pay to play. While if we are keeping focused on the concept that you shouldn't pay to join a signing service, I agree with that. You should not. Signing services make money off of notaries, and you shouldn't pay to join a signing service, nor does anybody pay to join a signing service. Now, a directory, on the other hand, is quite the opposite. You are paying for a listing to have exposure, to increase your online exposure, or the potential for you to capture your own leads. Now, this directory is completely independent of our signing service. So, and just for context, our signing service does in excess of 300 signings a month outside of what we do on our own locally or what we do with um, other services we offer. Those are just the ones we turf out. So if you figure an average, your margins between $50 and $100 per contract or per order, so you could say an average of 75. You can do the math on that, and you can see that I don't need anybody to sign up for that. We use this directory. We use it as an asset that we can use. I don't need signups. I don't need you to get the courses. It's simply something value added. It's something for you to take advantage of the same way that we are taking advantage of it. So I just want to just shoot that down real quick. But anyway, so here we have it. We have this is this blog that she wrote, which is who needs or uses mobile notary service. This is a very detailed one. In fact, this one's overkill. You don't need anything this extensive. However, something this extensive will attract a lot of attention. This one's aimed at more of a broad audience than a narrow audience, but nevertheless, it did capture the attention of a customer who then hired Grace for $400 to do a series of tasks for her. It was all done in the realm of one day, but nevertheless, it was a big deal. And that customer, of course, was so satisfied that they went ahead and left a review on her profile about how helpful she was in the process. So that blog, again, that one's extensive, but with this site, you can do what we call parasite SEO. So parasite SEO is where you are borrowing, instead of writing on your own website where you may not have enough, the website may not be powerful enough, you write on another website that does. Now, with having said that, you could blog on LinkedIn, and you could blog on Medium. I think Medium is like $5 a month. So those would be two great examples of where you could parasite. You could borrow that site's existing credibility and domain authority to get content out there to rank easier than it would on your own site. But this one, of course, is industry specific. It's hyper focused, and it's already designed as a landing page. You see, you'd come across this blog naturally through Google, and you automatically see who wrote it and how to get a hold of them, right? How to find out about them. So it's just not quite that directed when you're looking at something like Medium, right? And LinkedIn, maybe, LinkedIn would be a little better, but then people outside looking to hire, they would come to the directory with that in mind, where LinkedIn, if they see the blog from search, they're going to assume it's just this social media, right? They might just gloss over that. So hyper specific. So with this listing, you can, obviously there's a lot of things you can do. So what I would recommend doing is obviously getting a listing, but then take control of that listing, take advantage of the opportunities that are afforded on this that aren't afforded on Notary Cafe or Notary Rotary or pretty much any directory, and create a very specific piece of content centered around a service that you offer, where you offer it. Then that will become very easily discoverable, become very easily indexed in Google. So let me give you an example. Let's say that you are a mobile notary in Dallas, Texas, and you want to do some real estate closings. So you could write a very simple blog that is titled Mobile Notary for Real Estate Closings in Dallas, Texas. You see how specific that is? And there are people who are looking for that exact service, and they're probably putting that exact term in. And if you have content that is centered around that, it doesn't have to be, again, that blog I showed you is overkill. That's designed to attract a broad audience, but you don't have to do that. You can do, and it would work better the more specific and focused you are. So that is what I would do. I would create one of your core services or core offers, like let's say it's an I-9 verification. Best I-9 verifications in XYZ location. And that will pick up in search very, very easily, very, very highly. And of course, with you as the person credited with that and your information right there. So this is one example of how you can create a piece of content that can generate leads and revenue for you, uh, kind of repetitive. So, and it's basically free. I mean, other than your monthly fee, which would be at that rate would be the same as um, a blog on Medium. So, but again, hyper focused, and that doesn't even factor in the other services that you offer. So, if you're offering other services, those naturally just would index under your location and your profile. So that is what she did. She had a blog. A customer discovered that, then discovered her, then hired her for this. And this was a jail signing with a power of attorney, and really came to know, like, and trust Grace, and obviously could read the information that she had there and could get some credibility for her. So, and ended up paying her for that. So that is what I would recommend you do. I would recommend that you um, definitely create content centered around core services you offer in core locations. And you can use AI, different AI writing tools to help you. I wouldn't make your content completely AI because they have AI detectors, but you could definitely use it to create an outline of a topic for you, and then you could kind of fill some of that in with your own personality that would come through and obviously would resonate with people. You can throw in a couple of jokes, a sarcastic remark, but basically, when you create that blog, you would when you create a blog, you would want to have a title for it, and you would want to have some headings and subheadings that revolve around that idea. And again, it doesn't have to be like the one you saw with her. That one was overkill, but you can have um, a couple of paragraphs. 1,000 words. You do 1,000 word blog, and it's very specific to a very specific service on a location. It's going to show up very easily. And again, there's no limit on how many you can do. And then you're going to get discovered for those services in your area and be able to capture full fees. So again, this is a powerful marketing concept that I don't think is talked about enough in this space. And it doesn't have to be complicated. In fact, it can actually be quite simple. And if you think about those blogs, there's no limit on them, and you can make one for every service that you offer in a location that you offer. And you'll find that is going to allow you to take the most advantage of a directory like this and get you the most amount of appointments and discoverability. This has happened for her. It's happened for me. I have a listing on here as well. Again, we use this directory for for our own leads, and then we just made it available to everybody else. So there you have it. Like I said, we're going to make it even more accessible. I'm going to reduce those prices just for you, but that again is a value added thing. The mindset of pay to play. The reality is when you want your own leads and you want to take control of your own business, you are going to pay to play. That is absolutely the way business works. So it works that way in every other business space. So sometimes notaries get this misconception that, well, I have my notary commission, therefore I should just have signings falling in my lap and be getting paid full fee. And it just doesn't work that way. You have to put some effort in. You're going to get exactly out of this business what you put into it. So just keep that in mind. And I hope you found that useful. And subscribe. We'll see you on the next one.